Inside the hollow, sound behaved strangely. Sometimes footsteps echoed before Adu moved. Sometimes shadows walked ahead of him, then returned to their rightful places. Time felt like a living creature breathing unevenly. At the center of the cavern lay a pool of golden mist, warm, inviting, yet frighteningly alive. As Adu approached, the calabash ripped itself open. Light burst out like a trapped bird escaping its cage. Then, a voice. "Why did you steal my breath?" From the mist emerged a woman formed entirely from sunrise, hair cascading in golden waves, skin glowing like dawn on river water, eyes shimmering with endless distances. She was beautiful and terrifying. Adu fell to his knees. "I'm sorry. I didn't know you were alive. I didn't know what I was taking." The spirit's gaze softened but remained wounded. "You stole the beginning of every day. You trapped me, and the world suffered." Adu bowed lower, tears burning his face. "Please, take your light back. Let the sun rise again." The morning spirit gently touched the broken calabash. The golden fragments drifted upward, swirling around her. But they dimmed before rejoining her form. "No apology can restore what was taken," she whispered. "There must be balance." Adu's heart pounded. "What do you want from me?" The spirit floated closer, her presence warm and heavy like early sunlight. "I demand the thing you fear losing the most." Adu froze. He thought of his mother, his life, his memories. But the spirit shook her head. "Not them. Something deeper." Adu suddenly realized. The thing he feared losing most was his pride, his desire to be admired, the identity he clung to so desperately. The spirit's voice was gentle. "Give it up, and morning will return." Adu trembled, then took a breath, and made his choice. Adu always believed courage meant proving yourself to others. Running fastest, climbing highest, doing something nobody else could do. Now he understood the truth. Courage meant letting go. Letting go of pride. Letting go of the need to be admired. Letting go of the part of yourself that chooses selfishness over responsibility. "I give it up," Adu whispered. "I give up the pride that led me here." The morning spirit placed a hand over his heart. Her touch was warm, yet it felt as though something was being pulled out of him. A tight knot he had carried for years. For a moment, Adu felt hollow, unmade. Then he felt light, free. The cavern trembled. The spirit's glow intensified. The fragments of stolen dawn swirled into her body, restoring her brilliance. "Your sacrifice is accepted," she whispered. A column of golden wind erupted from her, shooting upward through the hollow ceiling. It blasted into the sky, splitting the darkness like a cracked eggshell. Outside, Elder Obiari shielded his eyes as blinding light poured from the valley. "The morning, it's returning." Darklings shrieked and scattered, retreating toward the deepest pits of the forest. Their hollow faces cracked under the sunlight, their limbs dissolving into dust. Adu collapsed, not in pain, but in exhaustion. Above him, the morning spirit hovered gently. "Rise, child," she said. "You did not save the world to be called a hero. You saved it because you chose responsibility over pride." And as dawn finally broke for the first time in days, Adu opened his eyes to a world reborn. The first sunrise after the endless night was nothing short of miraculous. Light spilled across Ageman plains in waves of gold and peach, touching the huts, the farmlands, the river, the frightened animals. Everything breathed again. Children laughed and ran outside, shouting, "The sun is back! The sun is back!" Women knelt in gratitude, tears shining in the new light. Hunters dropped their spears and embraced each other. The morning felt like forgiveness. Adu walked slowly out of the hollow, supported by Elder Obiari. Though exhausted, there was something new in the boy's eyes. A softness, a depth, a humility that had not been there before. When he entered the village, people murmured, "That boy, he was involved in this." But he also ended it. Is he dangerous? Or courageous? Adu didn't seek their approval anymore. He didn't stand taller. He didn't bow his head in shame. He simply existed, honestly. Life gradually returned to rhythm. The farmers replanted weakened crops, hunters rebuilt broken traps, and women repaired roofs damaged during the restless nights. Adu worked quietly alongside them, sweeping the square, carrying water for elders, helping younger children with chores. Not because he needed praise, not because anyone asked him, but because it was right. The other children watched him at first with caution. The same ones who once teased him now whispered, "He went into the hollow. He met the spirit. He brought back the sun." But Adu didn't boast. He didn't retell his adventure. He didn't correct anyone when they spread wild rumors. His silence made him more mysterious and more admirable. One day, little Kwame approached him timidly. "Adu, were you scared?" Adu smiled softly. "Yes, and that's what made me brave." Kwame nodded slowly, then helped Adu carry water. More children joined. Soon, they saw Adu not as the small boy to be mocked, but as someone worth following. The elders observed thoughtfully. Chief Samanu finally called a gathering. "Let Adu's mistake and sacrifice remind us. Even a small act can disturb the balance of the sky, but responsibility can restore it." Adu lowered his head respectfully. He didn't crave applause. He only felt relieved that the village was safe. Weeks later, Adu climbed the tall anthill where he had first stolen Dawn. This time, he came not with mischief, but with gratitude. As the new morning rolled in, a soft glow appeared beside him. The morning spirit materialized, gentle and radiant. Adu bowed deeply. "Thank you for forgiving me." The spirit smiled. "Child, forgiveness is not given because mistakes are small. Forgiveness is given when hearts learn." Adu breathed slowly, letting her warmth wash over him. "You have walked well since the hollow," she continued. "Your heart no longer seeks admiration. You act because you choose to, not because you want to be seen." Adu nodded. "I understand now." The spirit gazed across the plains, golden wind swirling around her. Darkness will always exist, but the world survives because someone always chooses responsibility. Adu felt a deep strength growing inside him, not pride, but purpose. The spirit touched his forehead lightly. "The sky remembers you," she whispered, "but not as the boy who stole the morning, as the boy who returned it with a brighter heart than dawn." With that, she dissolved into soft gold and rose into the sky. Adu remained alone on the anthill, but he no longer felt small. He watched the sun climb, its warmth spreading across Ageman Plains. For the first time, he felt entirely himself, not desperate to be important, not afraid of being invisible, simply Adu. A boy who faced the sky and learned what true courage meant. And in Ageman Plains, generations later, parents would still whisper the story. There was once a boy who stole the morning from the sky, but saved us all when he learned to let go.